blockchain, Web3, NFT, and cryptocurrency technologies. Interviewing the best in the industry, giving tips and tricks, and also sharing with you projects that I'm most excited about.
Hey everyone. First off, that is my podcast, CraigO's Crypto Corner. And we started actually in April. So I want to welcome everybody to the first annual DeFi ART Conference. So a little round of applause. This is exciting. Tonight, we're going to cover a little bit of Web3, blockchain-based technology, talk a little bit about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and most importantly, why I'm assuming a lot of you are in the room, is how to launch your NFT collection, your art NFT collection, like a boss. And I think that's really empowering because the stage that I share is with some very talented individuals and two of my friends in the metaverse on the screen behind me. So what I'd like you guys to do, if you have a pen and pad, fine. If not, everybody is always attached to their personal device. Just open it up, send yourself an email, and maybe take some copious notes. I think there's a lot of learning to be done. I know I'm going to learn a lot this evening. Before we get to that, I want to thank my close friend over there, Mr. Sharon Nicholson. Woo! Just a quick little story, and I won't go too long about it, but I was the agent that represented him on the purchase of this property. He allowed me that privilege along with another commercial agent. We walked in and he had true and pure vision for what this place could and will and is becoming. So a round of applause again just for my friend Sharon Nicholson. Woo! And Sandy, who oversees the day-to-day operations. Yes, a big shout out to Sandy as well. We love you. All right. So special thanks as well to James Brown. James is co-owner of DeFi ART, and this being the first conference, he should be proud of himself. In tandem with Downtime TV, my production crew for CraigO's Crypto Corner, they are doing all this amazing technology, bringing in my friends behind us. So I love the energy. I love this. So big shout out to you. I also, at the table behind us, right over in the back there, I just want to give a quick shout out to Arts and Culture Together. The Cultural Alliance of Fairfield County is here tonight. They are one of 400 organizations nationwide conducting a 2-minute, one-page survey organized by Americans for the arts on audience spending at nonprofit art and cultural events. This happens every 5 years, and as a result, it shows how much money is being pumped into the economy by cultural nonprofits. This helps their advocacy efforts to increase investment in arts by municipal leaders and legislators, and will help to fund cultural nonprofits like this one in our region. If you can, please go to that table, spend a couple minutes, fill out that one-page flyer. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, tonight, we are on Twitter Spaces. We've got a pretty big crowd. I'm kind of excited to see the pure numbers on that. We've also got Facebook and YouTube Live, so please feel free to share that with any of your friends. And we also have a lot of contest giveaways from some of the people on the stage. There's actually a major giveaway in there as well from Crypto Pits. So the contest giveaway on CraigO's Crypto Corner on my Twitter page has a crown by it, and I'll probably retweet later. The contests for each of the individuals on the stage that have decided to run a contest will run for about 24 to 36 hours. So it's just about pure engagement, and then they pick who the winner is, not me. So please don't call me and say, hey, Craig, I didn't win. What gives? All right, so let's get right to it. Panel introductions. And I want to start with Ralph Quintero. Welcome, Ralph. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Hey, Craig, thanks so much for having me today. Thank you for everybody joining us. Super exciting times. My name is Ralph Quintero. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of the Daily Ralpha. I am deep in the Web3 and NFT space, holding close to 1,000 NFTs at this point, and have made Web3 my full-time occupation since the beginning of this year. And I advise basically startups on Web3 strategy. And I have a lot of corporate clients as well. Just loving every minute of my time in Web3.
I love it, my friend. And I want to give Ralph a big congratulations because his newsletter goes out to 60,000 people daily. He just yesterday congratulated because you actually 365 newsletters went out, 1,600 hours of research. I'm just doing this from the top of my head, and 5,000 NFT projects reviewed. Everybody, please give Ralph a big welcome. Round of applause.
Thanks, everyone.
My next friend in the metaverse, I describe him as the master storyteller. Evan Mann, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Thank you so much, Craig. I am an artist in the medium of communication.
Uh-oh. This is good, though.
The worst possible time.
It's good. Here's what we're going to do.
Everyday people.
Oh, he's back?
You're back.
Did you lose
okay.
me?
We got you now.
So as Craig says, I'm a storyteller. I'm an artist in the medium of communication. And in the Web3 space, I really work as an educator. I founded a couple of projects. I've advised a couple of projects. I work to consult with people, specifically with highly technical founders whose language gets lost in translation on the way to the everyday people whose lives their ideas will impact. I'm very interested in helping people see the big picture of crypto beyond currency, NFTs beyond JPEGs, so that folks like you and me and our grandmas who just heard about Bitcoin can understand why Web3 might matter to them personally. Just grateful to be here to
I
share.
love it. Round of applause for Evan Mann. Perfect. So my good friend over here, Mr. Easton Gladney. Now, you and I connected last year in November. Super awesome to share the stage with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
I'm super excited to be here, Craig. Thank you. I am a 22-year-old. I've been in Web3 and NFTs for about 1.5 years. I also do some consulting. I have my own consulting agency. I also do some project management and content creation and education with mental health and Web3 as well.
I love it. And big round of applause. My mic went off. Get on. Oh, testing, 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm back. Yeah, just do that. Can you hear me? Okay, nobody can hear me. Don't worry, I'll speak up if I need to. So big congratulations, because Easton at the end of the month is part of launching a really cool project. Really cool, you gotta love that, on the Elron network. So congratulations, my friend. Emily Swift. Hi, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So hi, everybody. My name is Emily Swift, and I am an artist here at the Knowlton. My studio is on the 3rd floor, and I do a few different things out of that space. Primarily, I own and operate a full-service mail-in film lab, and outside of that, I am an artist among many other incredible, talented artists. So I entered the NFT space last year in an effort to raise capital for my film lab, and it's been a wild ride ever since.
I love it. Hey, Renee. Renee, when you get a chance, I just need to move the page. It's totally cool. Cade, what's up? I almost spilled my water. How you doing, my friend?
Doing very well. How are you doing?
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am the founder of the George Kingdom. My name is Cade. I'm also a YouTuber, NFT artist. I did a bunch of travel photography back then and minted those collections. That's actually me right there on top of the proofs that I took. And yeah, I would probably describe myself as that.
I love it. I love it. Round of applause for Cade. Thank you. Sydney Esposito, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello, I'm good. I'm
Welcome.
glad to be here.
You came from Austin, Texas, all the way to see us.
I did, all the way from Texas.
And next to you, Seattle, Washington. I love it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am a traditional and digital artist. I entered the Web3 space about a year ago. It inspired me to pick up digital art in the first place. And I make video content about Web3 education and art.
That's awesome. So you guys have a really well-versed panel, and so we're going to get right into some of the questions. And I've kind of lined out the questions based on how well I know people. And I actually want to start off with you, Ralph, right? What is a crypto versus an NFT? I know it's a really simple one. People might ask the question, so I just want to get the answer from you, my friend.
So crypto versus NFT, the way that I look at that is both employ the same technology, both are based on blockchain. But crypto is what I consider more of a currency, where I consider a digital asset that you can own or trade or collect.
Got it. No, that's perfect. And so cryptos can be fractionalized, NFTs cannot. So that's perfect. All right, we good with that? All right, perfect. So when launching an art-based NFT, what should be someone's first steps? And I'm going to look to Emily and I'm going to look to Sydney. Emily, I'll let you answer first.
I think first and foremost, it doesn't matter how cool what you're doing is. It matters how many people know you're doing it.
Right.
Because all it takes is getting in front of one of the right people for your project to be super successful. And first and foremost, if you are working on something cool, everybody you know should know about it. You should be posting about it constantly, and you should be seeking networks of other people who have interests in what you're doing.
I love it. And we actually talked about the ultimate utility as an artist, and you said your utility is your
ability to continue to create.
I love it. Sydney, what are your thoughts on that?
I love that. I think the exact same thing. The first thing that you should do is set up your social medias and start posting on them. I think it's a cool thing to know. I had success with, I didn't start knowing about NFTs and posting when I learned about them. I just started posting from the start of like, I'm going to learn what an NFT is, come with me sort of thing. And yeah, it was just a great way to actually get started right away without having to learn and then make the socials. You can document that whole process.
That's perfect. And Sharon, if you can queue up just as we're going forward, just people's Twitter page. I'd love for you guys to follow their social medias, because as you come out of here, there's going to be more learning for you to do. Again, depending on how engaged you are with this. So Evan, Man, and Emily, I'm going to pose this question. And Evan, I'm going to let you answer it first. NFTs and social media blueprint, how to blow up. Now, oh, where did my guy Evan go? Oh, you disappeared on me. There you are, my friend. How you doing? Uh-oh. There we go.
Would you repeat the question, Craig?
Absolutely, I will. NFTs and social media blueprint, how to blow up, right? You're a master storyteller. When you started to work on the Faceless Many collection, what was the first thing that you were doing that was consistent concerning your social media storytelling, and what platform was that?
Craig, I'm so sorry to say it. I am getting some real bad feedback from you, so I don't hear the question too well, but I heard you ask about the Faceless Many, and I think what you said was, when did we start showing up on social media? How did we talk about that? Am I understanding that correct? You wanted to know the story of...
Let me throw it at you again, no worries. I mean, this is all technology, sometimes it can happen. So NFT and social media blueprint, right? What was the first steps? And in what platform were you launching on? Was it Twitter? Was it Discord? What was the message at the very beginning to get people engaged with Faceless Many, your collection?
I see. So really true for us, and I would say for any artist or any person who's trying to sell any kind of story, everything we're doing is storytelling. And it's unhelpful to just show up and say, buy my art. And it's also unhelpful to assume that because you may already have a following, that they're going to want your art when it is protected by you. So the most important thing to do is...
Oh no.
The most important thing to do is, it's okay. So Emily, I'm going to throw that question to you, and we're going to let Evan come back in a minute. Evan, just hold tight for a second. Emily. Yeah, no, we'll get him in a minute. Emily, what are your thoughts on a social media blueprint, and what platform did you start on? We'll come back to you in a second, Evan.
Definitely it was Twitter for me, but since using Twitter as my main platform to communicate about these things, I've started to kind of experiment with other platforms. Still not really sure about them, but what I like about Twitter is it kind of builds the same kind of following that something like YouTube does, where people really invest in the time that they spend paying attention to your content. So, for example, my Twitter followers know everything that's happening in my studio all the time because I'm live tweeting my reactions, frustrations, results, rewards throughout the day. So my Twitter followers know me and they know my story.
I love it.
And getting involved in crypto and Web3 and NFTs was all just something else I was tweeting about. Yeah. And also what I love about Twitter is you have a lot of silent fans on there, like people who are watching you who maybe never interact with your stuff. They never throw you a like or retweet, but they know what you're doing and they're very involved with what you're doing. And it kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier is It doesn't matter how cool what you're doing is. It just matters that it gets in front of the right people.
Consistency. And also, I'm curious, and I will ask this question, with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, how is that positively going to affect the Web3 space? Evan, are we back? You and I back again?
Yeah, I'm back, but Craig, I still can't hear you so well, but I agree with what you said about Black.
It's okay. We adjust. Nothing throws me off anymore. So actually, Kate, I do want to talk to you about Twitter, right? We know, according to NFT God, who's going to be a guest on my podcast this coming week, Shameless Shill, what are your thoughts on Twitter Spaces and video? How powerful is that in building a brand right now if someone has a really great project where they can sell that sizzle, right? Because as Emily said, the ultimate utility is the ability as an artist to deliver.
I'm a YouTuber first, so I believe in the power of video. I just don't think anything is even close. Twitter Space is a good start if you don't want to do video. There's also other opportunities. You can do voiceovers, you can do little text. TikTok's amazing with this. You can just have a cool video. I know a lot of people who made videos just in painting, and then they have a voiceover or some kind of text on the screen explaining some context behind it, what kind of artists they are, what they work on, stuff like that, and then beautiful music or something. So there's different ways you can use video if you're not comfortable talking in front of cameras or anything like that. It's a very common thing. So, and everybody edit video is the best.
Are you able to hear, Kate? Okay, perfect. I'm just doing a quick mic check on that. No, that's perfect. And how many followers, I don't want you to say followers, subscribers, engaged subscribers do you have on your YouTube channel?
I have no idea about engaged, to be honest. A lot of people watch my videos, unsubscribe. It's fine. You can subscribe to me now. But I think there's about 10,000 right now on the numbers. But as far as people who are active, I have no idea. A lot of people come from the shorts right now, which is a great opportunity for a lot of artists right now. You can get quick little content like on TikTok, repost it straight to YouTube. You get a lot of organic views that way and get a lot more subscribers. It's an easy hack that's blowing up right now as we speak.
I think the TikTok really killed people's attention span. It really dwindled it down. So sometimes the shorter the better, a powerful message, something that is really visually pleasing, and utilize your family and friends sort of to test on them what they like, and look for the blatant, brutal honesty before you put it there. Now I'm going to come back to Evan. He's a little still, but let's see if we can get him in again. It's totally cool, my friend. We make moves here. We're good. Can you hear me?
Boy, I can.
Wow. Okay, we're good. Hey, Ralph, you're still in. Whatever that Wi-Fi is in Florida, you are rock solid. Don't worry, we're going to hit you up, my friend. All right, Evan, let's try it again. No worries. Your handsome face is there. They can follow you on your Twitter. We're totally good. We're going to make the best out of a challenging situation. Not bad.
So, Craig, can I ask you a huge favor?
Yes.
Can you just move your mic away from your mouth?
Is that better?
For us, it is on this side because it's open low.
Oh, it's too loud? Okay, I wouldn't know. All right, perfect. All right, so Sydney and Kate and Emily, I'm just going to pose this question. You want to? Okay, because they told me to take it away. You're told. Perfect. All right, so how can we make money with NFTs? And with very few followers? I thought this was a very good question that was actually posed before we hopped on here by Cade. Maybe I'm just going to start with you, Emily, since I'm over in your direction.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How can you make money with very few followers with a collection, with an art collection?
By showing up every single day to talk about your stuff, to promote your stuff, and to make sure it falls in front of that right person. Because same thing I mentioned earlier, all it takes is that one person to discover what you're doing and resonate with it to get you in front of the people that your week needs to get in front of. So if you have no followers, the best thing to do is show up as if you have 1 million followers. How would you approach social media differently if you had 1 million people that you knew were tuning in to everything you put out there? And start putting your stuff out as if you had that audience.
I love it.
And slowly, if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Kate, I love it. Round of applause on that one. That's a great answer. Kate, what are your thoughts?
It's probably a little bit of echo from what I said earlier with the short form content. The best thing about that is because there's so many ways to do it, it doesn't matter if you feel particularly good about social media or if you don't feel like you know how to use it. It's the most simple stuff. Literally the most simple shit will go viral on TikTok, and you don't need to go viral, but there's always the chance that you do. So every time I send a video out, it's just going out in the ether. It's like pulling slots or something like that. So if I'm just pulling slots, I'm putting out all the content out there, and you never know who's going to watch your videos. And like she said a second ago, it needs to get in front of one person, right? And so my first jump into the Web3 space came from a YouTube video that got 214 views, and a founder of a project reached out, and that video was my intro into the space. And then same with my NFTs. I had one video that got seen by someone who was notable in the space. He picked one up, and that was one of the catalysts for my first NFT collections. But it's just about like putting it out there and just hoping, and it might not happen. I know a lot of people it took 10 months. Some people it just takes 10 days. It's just kind of how it goes.
Currently 3 NFT collections you have under your belt. That's awesome. So Sydney, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that you don't have to have a ton of followers, like you said, to make money. I think a big thing for me was I didn't just want to make art and that be kind of the only value I had, because I realized if you make content, not only can you make art or make money from your art specifically, but you can monetize your content in so many different ways. So if you're just talking about your artistic process and you're sharing your art, yeah, you can then sell your art, but then an art company might hit you up and want to promote their art in your videos, or someone might just like the sound of your voice and offer you, a voice acting gig. Like if you just put your stuff out there, you'll attract way more opportunities than just the art that you put out.
I love that. And actually, I want to pose the next question to Ralph. Evan, we're going to come back to you in just a second, just making sure they've got some of those things handled, see if we can keep you on. What is the common denominator with NFT communities making money? I mean, you've reviewed 5,000 communities. So you have seen rug pulls, you have seen massive success. What is the common denominator for success if somebody's to go and purchase an NFT?
From my perspective, it's a truly engaged community. I was listening to what Emily was saying earlier about putting content out there, whether you have one person following you or you have 1 million people following you. A great example of that is an artist out of the UK called Andre Decolife. I discovered him while sitting on a Twitter space, and it's amazing to see how he started with a community of 33 people. And today, the floor price of his collection is like $500,000. He's doing tremendously well. He's got a significant amount of followers. And it's all because he's been committed to that community and fostering that community and what they believe in. So it really is amazing.
No, I think that's great. And I think that's some food for thought, because I think a lot of people, my education was done last year by getting into different communities, the promise of utility. And one of the things that I've been saying today, which I think is really important, is I like the idea of art projects where I'm banking on the artist, and their utility is their ability to show up and deliver and be consistent. So I think that's fantastic. I want to try and see if we can get Evan again, and I'm just going to throw this question out. NFT social media blueprint, how to blow up. Now I know it's such a big, like, what is it, like a clickbait word, but how to blow up, and some of those taglines I don't like, but what are your thoughts as a master storyteller and having a very successful collection? Tell me a little bit about that.
You don't need to try and sell it. You shouldn't be out every day shilling your art. You should be adding value. Instead of minting a collection of 100 pieces and trying to find 100 people to buy it, you should build community with 1,000 people and then sell 100 pieces so that there is demand and there's leftover demand. If you've got an audience of 10 people, sell one piece of art. And then there will be more people who come if you continue to
and continue to build that relationship. I got him, he's good. So I want to actually go to the next one, which is zero royalties. This has been a big conversation in our space. Some of you might have heard of it, but some of the major marketplaces have acquiesced to doing zero royalties, and that really affects artists in a negative way. And I actually want to pose this question to Easton first on what your thoughts are on zero royalties. Don't worry, Evan, we're going to come back and show you some love. And then I want to ask Ralph that question around zero royalties. And then I'll follow over here.
I think if you build a community around yourself, your community should want to pay those royalties to support you. But I think From the art perspective,
It's okay. He's just adjusting the volume. So from an art perspective,
I think the artist should be rewarded those royalties because that's a big part of their income. They make income from the sell, and then they make income and royalties for the rest of their life from the royalties. And if that is taken away from them, that is a huge chunk and incentive of getting into NFTs as an artist.
so in short, royalties, when you go to 0%, secondary sales, you are not getting rewarded as the artist. And a lot of your money is being made on the upfront of the mint. Ralph, what are your thoughts around zero royalties? Don't worry, Emily, I will hit you next. Go for it.
So, I don't like the aspect of zero royalty, and I think that this whole conversation came about for legitimate reasons, but it's hurting the wrong people, right? So I think that what brought a lot of artists and a lot of creators to Web3 in the first place was that promise in, perpetuity, where you could create a piece of art, and as that art changes hands, you can continue to earn royalties for the rest of your life. The reason this whole dialogue and discussion about zero royalties came about was because there's bad actors out there. There's projects that, and you mentioned the word rug earlier in your conversation, right? Which is projects that come out, they make a lot of promises, and then they mint out, they take all the money, they disappear, and nothing ever happens. Or they just don't deliver. Maybe they don't disappear. And what happens in that case is holders start to lose faith, and they say, you know what, I'm done with this NFT, I'm going to sell it. Well, the developer or the project owner doesn't care that you're going to sell it because he's going to make royalty on you anyways. So it's kind of feeding the wrong kind of behavior. So the industry as a whole said, wait a second, we're not going to reward these ruggers. We're just going to take royalties away. It makes sense, but it's hurting the wrong people.
Oh, I got you. And Emily, I'm going to come to you in a second. With just a show of hands, how many of you have ever either minted an NFT or purchased an NFT on secondary marketplace?
Let's go.
Okay, I like that. I'm feeling inspired. Emily, what are your thoughts around zero royalties? And then Evan, I'm going to come back to you and see if we can keep you in, but you're great. I like the thumbs up. We know you're plugged in, my friend.
I have so many thoughts about this. How often does it happen that an artist sells a piece and then they die, and then that piece sells for multi-millions of dollars? I'm sure every single person in this room can think of a story where that was the case. Or even maybe they're still alive, but their pieces are reselling for more money than that artist has to their name. And that's not okay. And if you created that piece, no matter how many times it passes hands, you should be seeing money from it as the creator of it. Because what a damn shame if I sell you a print for $10 and then you sell it for $2 million, and then me, as the creator of that piece, sees nothing from it. The reason that I am so passionate about NFTs is because it can be lifelong insurance. It can be a lifelong generation of income for you as an artist. Artists don't have retirement funds like people who sign up and work for some regular job, okay? If we want a retirement fund, we need to provide it for ourselves. And what better way to build that than on secondary sales that have never been a thing before in the world of the art market?
Yeah.
And we don't even have to do anything. And it's already existing on the blockchain. It's already embedded in there. We don't have to worry about anybody pulling anything shady because it's all publicly accessed information. You know where that money is going, and you know that that original creator of that piece will forever see whatever percentage they put in their smart contract that they should deserve to be paid on those secondaries.
And by the way, your collection, Misfits, your first of two collections, that minted out in 45 minutes. And I'm going to come back to you in a second because I want you to tell me about that experience, how euphoric it was, and was the process to get your smart contract on there. And we'll talk about the difference in a second. I'm going to come back to you. You had a really successful run last year. You had a really successful run last year where you're launching your collection on blockchain. Tell me a little bit about that, and then I'm going to try to hop back and see if you grab that in 14 minutes.
Yeah. What inspired my collection was simply learning how to do digital art and learning about NFTs. And I started the collection because I wanted to find a community of artists who were also just starting, because I knew no one in my life doing any sort of thing like this. So I drew my first piece on an iPad on an app called Procreate, and I minted some NFTs and made videos of myself doing it, posted it on all of the social medias, and within a couple weeks, one of my videos about teaching artists how to make NFTs with their own art, that kind of blew up, and it was the best video to blow up because it attracted other artists who wanted to learn to my page. And so my collection sold out pretty fast after that video kind of blew up, and it was mostly artists who were just new to the space and kind of wanted to learn along with me.
You actually rewarded your community with shirts. You printed NFC, and you did the number that was embroidered on there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I sell my art as like shirts on merch, and for NFT holders, I sent them a shirt with the NFT that they had, and then I printed the number. So like if it was 50 editions, they had 3 out of 50. I printed that on a shirt and signed it. So those shirts for the holders are custom, and then other people can get other ones that don't have this.
And when I'm going to come back to you in a minute about the collection that you did, it is out in 45 minutes. I'll talk about that thing in just a second. And then I want to try you one more time. It's totally cool.
It's going to rug me in about 10 seconds, I promise you.
All right, well, let's just try it one more time. Okay, so.
Sure, I would like to comment on royalties if it's okay.
This is great. The energy here is good, we're adding value, and Ralph, my new friend, is turned green.
Yeah, Craig, I don't mean to talk over you, but I've got about 30 seconds before it rugs me again, and I want to make an important point. Can I do that? It's about royalties. A lot of people will say that royalties are one of the biggest innovations of NFTs, but I think they're missing a bigger point. When you have an NFT attached to your work, whatever kind of asset it is, most assets in the world are non-fungible. So most of the value in the world is non-fungible. And I would argue that the value that is innovative with NFT is not that it collects royalties for you, but that anybody, anywhere will look at that work and will know with effortless, errorless certainty that it came from you. If you make a meme that reaches 1 billion people, we can't put a price tag on that. But if it's attached to an NFT, everyone will know it is yours. And if they want another one, they got to come to you. And that, my friends, is where the big time value of this stuff is.
Man, you nailed it. You got him. I love that. That's some major knowledge. Emily, 45 minutes out. That feeling of the utility, the ability to deliver, and it's executed perfectly. What was that feeling like? What was the first thing you did after your project was out? What was that? Were you like, oh, that's...
I don't know if I can say that with my landlord present. But for those of you who don't know, my collection is right next to the stage here. The one on the top was my first NFT collection titled Misfits, which did go on to sell out in 45 minutes after the most insane and incredible and tireless 24 hours of my life getting ready to put them on the blockchain. And those are all pieces that I made in my darkroom that were then put through a second process by an abstract painter who was another tenant in this building that I collaborated with to turn them into what they ended up becoming. So Misfits essentially changed my life. It provided me with the funding I needed to keep going with my film lab, which was a self-funded startup out of this same building. And yeah, it's been a wild and incredible ride ever since.
That's fantastic. I love it. You know, I want to throw this to you because a lot of what I talk about in my podcast is traditional business, i.e. products and services, will attract them to Web3-based digital assets. And so I wanted to chat with you a little bit about that. Are you thinking it's going to be Web3 digital assets that are going to be attractive to traditional businesses? Or do you think traditional businesses are like, hey, we want to invest in blockchain, this technology, we want to make it easy? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think that there's going to be mass adoption, and we're already seeing it, right? We're seeing the likes of companies like Starbucks starting to make inroads into Web3, and they're doing it in what I would consider one of the most incredible ways possible, which is making it so transparent that people don't even know that they're coming into the blockchain or that they have a wallet built in somewhere. And there's other examples of that. Instagram just did it, with a partnership with Polygon. But I think we'll see more and more companies coming into Web3. I think that the days of it being like a marketing activation, like a single kind of marketing event to just be able to say, hey, we're in teas, or look, we're cool. I think those days are numbered. I think the companies that are going to succeed in this space are the ones that are going to look at Web3 blockchain technology holistically and how they can apply it to their entire business, not just the marketing side of it. So I don't think it's a fad. I think companies are looking to engage with it. I have a lot of corporate clients that are tirelessly working to figure out how they're going to leverage Web3 to be able to provide a better user experience to their customers.
That's great. Hey, you watched your 360 collections. Tell me about the experience of the first collection launch, and what is the biggest thing you took away from it that you could repeat? You might have done something differently that would really draw about most from your first launch.
So I think what I'm about to say will probably be pretty relevant to most artists, especially if you haven't minted an NFT collection. But if you have, it's kind of also similar. The very first NFT collection I dropped, I basically just dropped a photography collection. The self-portraits are up there. Dropped that collection. I was just an artist, and I wasn't sure exactly where it was going to go. I just dropped it and it kind of figured out from there and basically posted some content. The first collection got lucky just because I had someone notice it and he sold it, or he basically tweeted about it and sold out immediately. The second collection came a few months after that. And what I did was I made a collection. It was very similar to the first one in photography. And I made a YouTube video and I explained every single piece, what happened when I was taking it, what I felt about it, and then I clipped each one of those up into about 25 different clips, posted those on a TikTok. Within 3 days, that collection sold out, specifically just from that one video. And then those were both in the bull run. So we're not in a bull run anymore. It's a bit harder to get people to buy your stuff. At that point, the photography pieces were just an NFT art piece. There was no utility attached. There was no promise to the future. It was just like, pictures, buy. And that's all it was. And so it's kind of hard to sell those in the beginning, especially if you're not in a raging bull market like this, where people might be incentivized to buy for whatever reason. So in a bear market, in a recession, the strategy changed a little bit, and over time, as my brand grew in my YouTube space, it became more of like, hey, you're investing in me as a content creator, you're investing in me as a podcast host, as an NFT artist, as all the things. I want to climb up in this space, and by buying my NFTs, my brand, that's how you can get in, and that was how I was able to sell that third collection.
And your merchandise is well, distributed right now. I think it's really important because NFTs are connected to actual products and services. That's what it's really exciting. The fundamental or the technical analysis, right? The technical analysis is sort of explore other projects that might be some yours. How are they performing? The fundamentals we talk a lot about how to engage, how to show up, how to create content. And I think after this, we're kind of networking, you still feel comfortable to any panelists ask some of those types of questions. There's so much nuance in space that it took me months to really learn literally how to buy NFT, how to sell it successfully without messing up. So were you looking at all, when you did your collection, you looking at all on the technical side of how the project's performing, or you like this or everybody?
I wasn't so much in the projects actually. I didn't have a long-term plan at the time. I simply wanted to learn about energies and topics, so that would be my question. So, yeah, I wasn't super concerned about the stats. I sold them all for $2 to them. So I was like, I'm going to sell it before. So it really wasn't trying to make much money, or I just wanted to attract like-minded artists. And that was kind of my whole question.
So the secondary is really important once you start creating skill.
Yes, I've been a lot of clients.
I think one of the mindsets that I get in this market is not a bear, it's an opportunity market. It's a time to actually learn, grow, strategize, implement what your next move is. Speaking of that, I want to get into that real quick. Right, here you are, maybe doing a set sign. So, how does social media impact the project before you launch? from your XP launch against this what were you concerned with? Was there a word flood in this space? It's rampant, sometimes I like to call it constructive criticism. But what were you thinking before launching off that NFC, that particular NFC collection of 8,064 items? And there we go, the question. So, you might kind of doing.
I am with you, Craig. I am doing great, thank you.
All right, so let me go this question, and then I'll try to come back to this glad that you're here this evening. It's where it really is. You look at over 5,000 NFC projects. Was there we do a technical analysis to feel that they're not doing it correctly, how they're launching from, the launching at the wrong time, the gases are absorbed behind us. So now that Ethereum, and I won't describe this, went from proof of work to proof of stake, how did you see the technical side of your process?
So from that perspective, I mean, as I work with some of these communities and they're getting ready to launch, especially now during the bear market, I think that the smarter communities just slowed down a little bit, and they took a little bit more time to build, and they took a little bit more time to really flesh out what their offering was going to be. I think that's the biggest change I've seen in terms of like the mechanics of it. I haven't seen too many changes from like when it was, proof of work to proof of stake. I haven't really seen too many changes in that regard. But, as I review these projects, a lot of times I'll come across communities that get it all wrong in terms of when they're going to launch or what they do. And then they get all excited. Everybody thinks, oh my God, I'm going to mint out. Like that's everybody's goal. Everybody's goal is to go and try and mint out. But I always tell people that's the easy part. The hard part is how you engage your community long-term and you continue to provide value for your holders and your collectors. That's the real hard work. And a lot of times when I'm talking to these project owners, they're so laser focused on getting the mint out the door, which yes, it is important, that they forget that once they mint out, what are they going to do for their communities? Like, when it's art, a lot of times it's, there's collectability to it, and maybe the expectation from the community isn't as high as something else, like as a different type of NFT. But regardless of what it is, there is an expectation that from your community that you're going to be there for them, that you're going to continue to provide. As a holder, as a buyer, I'm acting almost like as a patron to this artist, right? I'm investing in this artist, and I want to see the artist continue to flourish and continue to do good things. So that's what they need to really step up and do. And to me, that's the biggest red flag when a project owner, an artist, a developer is just so focused on the mint that they forget that everything else is going to happen on the tail end of that.
Okay. So what I want to do is wrap up a couple things. This coming week, we're going to on Bridgeport podcast. The following week, I get to have on Kevin and the faces many of our labs. So I'm really excited. I won't ask you to say anything more. I love the evidence. It's great to have you on.
Craig, the best time to get me is when I cut out. As soon as I come back, you get me for about 60 seconds. So wait till I cut out and they can ask me anything you want. I love you, man. I'm here to support it.
We want to just do some closing comments. Emily, I want to start with you. Closing up, how do you want people to connect with you? What's one thing from your end that you want them to take away?
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at eSwiftStudios. I also have both of my current collections up right here. They have QR codes on them if you want to check them out. The collection on the top is my original collection, Misfits. That's all darker prints. It sold out in 45 minutes. And the collection on the bottom, Syzygy, is made out of Polaroids and is still available on the primary market. So definitely check it out. And if you are like, oh my God, what the hell is an NFT? And I don't understand any of this, I'll be here all night. Let's chat.
Perfect. I love it. Round of applause for Emily. Easton, some closing words for you.
You guys can follow me at Easton Gladney on all social platforms. And I think the biggest thing for artists to take away, in my opinion, is branding yourself as the human first and the artist second. Posting things where people can relate to you on a deeper level. Past the art will create raving fans that will follow you through anything and buy whatever you put out.
These can work day and night, just like Kate. I love the passion and the drive. Kate, closing words to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who's here. We really appreciate you guys. One of the big takeaways that I always, or not takeaways, just one of the things I focus on with a lot of my content is just focusing on if you're going to be a digital artist, or if you want to at least, if you want to sell your art digitally online, then it's not a requirement, but it makes sense to market yourself online. In the same way you go to a gallery, the advantage of having the internet is the fact that you have so much extra ability to go out there to the masses, and so much extra ability to just connect with so many people. And I make lots of content around NFTs, the more mainstream NFT stuff, the mania, the craziness that you see, as well as NFT art stuff, as well as building NFT projects. I have all that stuff on my YouTube channel. So you guys just go to my link tree, you can go there, you can check my website if you want to see what we offer for NFT projects. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Sydney, what are some closing words, my friend?
Yeah, I love what Katie just said. I just want to go off of that. If you're an artist, don't be scared of making videos. It's so awkward and uncomfortable to start, but it will do exponential things, and it's so worth it. I know a lot of artists will say, like, I just want to try, I don't want to make videos, but making the videos will make your art career so much better. And yeah, I just really encourage people to go down that route. And yeah, you can follow me everywhere at Esco Visuals.
Awesome. I love it. And by the way, everybody here has really great content online for you to learn. Doesn't just end here tonight. Evan, I'm going to try to get you really quick.
Go to Ralph first because I'm going to rug in a second.
Go Ralph, it's you.
Well, thanks again for having us tonight. I encourage everybody who's here with us tonight to basically participate in the space, experiment, try new things. We're pioneers in this space. You've all been heard in Web3 that we're early. We are really early. Like, this is internet 1994 early. And if we look at how the internet revolutionized the world, Web3 is going to do the same. And it's up to us as pioneers to experiment, to push those buttons, to try to push the envelope. And with us doing that, we're gonna discover new things that are gonna set the tone for years to come. So have fun, play around with it, and if you want to learn a little bit more about Web3 and what's going on every day, you can subscribe to the Daily Route.
Daily Route, a great newsletter. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that in a second. It has been an honor tonight having you guys here to do this conversation, to learn. We're here, we're gonna network, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have drinks, and have a good time. Go ahead. And it's all you.
Oh, thank you. Ralph's timing was really almost perfect on that. I'm sorry I didn't get more of a chance to share with you, but all these people are good stewards of your attention, and I promise I will be too. The number one takeaway I would say is to remember that NFTs are not art, they are a medium. The same way a piece of paper can be used as the backdrop for a painting, a poem, or folded into origami, NFTs will be a medium for identity, for storytelling. Crypto will be so much more than money. It is the smallest part of it. And if you understand how to use this new medium, whatever you do, you will do it well. So you're welcome on my platform anytime if I can help you understand this thing at Conversations with Evan, everywhere except Twitter, where I'm at Evan_man. Would love to talk to you. You're a friend of mine.
Love it, I love it. Big round of applause for the panel. Big round of applause for our tech room, Downtown TV. Elon Nicholson, you did a great job, my friend. You're in the metaverse. You can only get so good. Gentlemen, I appreciate you. I love you. Much respect.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for watching CraigO's Crypto Corner, the best in Web3, blockchain, NFT, and cryptocurrency technologies. CraigO signing off.